Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Ultra Hope Girls, a Danganronpa podcast. We're on video today, which is really, really exciting. It's going to be a great time, and we are joined by Khee, the Komaeda enthusiast, here on our podcast. We're really excited to talk to her and get to know her, and we're all in cosplay, as you can see, and we'll talk about that later, too, so don't you worry about it. Just a heads up that this episode will spoil... All right, and without further ado,
I'm Maddie.
I'm Marin.
and I'm Caroline.
I'm Khee, and you're listening to Ultra Hope Girls.
Yeah! All right, well, welcome, Khee. Welcome to our podcast. We're so excited to have you on.
I'm very nervous to be here, but I'm also very excited.
Well, we're glad you're here, and hopefully you'll be less nervous as we keep going.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
just we'll relax.
Yes.
We're gonna vibe. Yeah. So why don't we'll start off and just tell us about yourself. Tell us about like what you do. Your role in the Danganronpa community, how you found out about Danganronpa, all of that. We want to hear all the juicy backstory.
Oh my god. Okay, so that's a long story. Well, first, I'm Khee. Online, my social media is Cactus Khee. I'm an artist. I'm a cosplayer. I'm a Komaeda enthusiast. And I also collect a ton of merch. And lately I've been making live streams and making YouTube videos and all the random stuff. But I'm essentially a huge Danganronpa fan. And yeah, this is my life. I can't leave.
Never gonna leave.
No, never. Okay, how I got into Danganronpa. I'm probably one of the earlier fandom people. So I discovered Danganronpa back in 2013, when I was on Tumblr. I remember seeing a bunch of Danganronpa fan art on the dashboard, and I was like, huh, what's this? At that time, I was in my last year of high school. So just to put that in perspective, I was in my last year of high school, and I had a bunch of assignments. It goes towards university and whatever, but it's okay. I was scrolling on Tumblr and I saw this Chihiro fan art, and I'm like, oh, this is a really cute girl. I wonder what she's from. And so I look at the tags and it says Danganronpa, and I'm like, what the heck's Danganronpa? And at this point, I was watching anime. I grew up watching cartoons, and then that led to anime and so on and so forth. But I decided to check out what Danganronpa was, and I discovered it was a game, but it didn't have any official translations at that point. So what I had to do, everyone was going to the fan translation forum on the Something Awful forums. There was a translated image text like post that was done by Oren Ronan, I think that's the name. And so I decided to check that out. And I remember very clearly the weekend that I started reading that thread. It was Saturday, and I had an assignment due for biology on Monday, and I hadn't started it yet. And I was thinking to myself, I'll just read a bit and then I'll work on my assignment. I ended up spending the whole weekend reading through that thread, and I finished Sunday night, and I was like, wow, that was really cool. Crap, I have to do my assignment. Still, I managed to finish it. I think I got like an 80 or something on it, so not too bad for last minute. So yeah, that was the start of my Danganronpa journey. Because it was text and image, I feel like I didn't really absorb all the content. I was kind of just like, ooh, character, ooh, they died, ooh, execution. Because when you read the forum, you don't experience it as a game. You don't like see everything. But basically, I fell in love with it. I really liked it. Caroline, I really liked Nike. I I thought he was a super soft, nice boy, and he forgives everyone, even though he almost dies. But I was just like, wow, this is a really sweet boy, anime boy. And obviously I really liked Kyoko as well. we can go into like which characters I like more later. But after I read the Danganronpa forum, I was like, oh well, I need more. where's the rest? And at this point, it was not localized yet. So Oren at that point had already also started Super Danganronpa 2, which is the second game. So I started reading that forum as well. And I clearly remember, okay, so you know how the first image you see is Komaeda and he's just like staring at you being like, hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I remember so clearly when as soon as I saw that image, I was like, oh my god, who's this?
From minute
this?
one.
Oh my goodness.
Love at first sight.
it
true.
really was. Anyway, Super Danganronpa 2, I read that and Oren hadn't finished translating all of it yet. So I had to read like the second half of Super Danganronpa 2 through Tumblr because someone on Tumblr had carried on and translated the rest of the game. And what happens with that is the fact that I don't know what Danganronpa looks like as a game. So chapters like chapter 3 in the original game and chapter 4 in the second game were really confusing to me because I did not know what the environment looked like. Anyway, I remember coming out of Super Danganronpa 2 being like, wow, that was really cool. So yeah, that was Danganronpa 2. And afterwards, I feel like I was in the fandom from 2013 to 2014 for a while. But I don't remember what year did the anime first come out for the first game. Do you know?
2015.
2015.
Right.
That's probably it. So I think I kind of fell out of it for a short while because again, I only experienced it through text and image, so I didn't really fully immerse myself. I only think after watching the anime was I like, oh, this is what the school looks like. Right, cool. And I was really excited for the anime. I remember watching it weekly while it was airing, but then I was like, huh, this isn't that good.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, it summarizes everything really quickly, but I was still really excited for it because I think with the anime it brought in a whole bunch of new fans. I think was it 2016 that the Danganronpa 3 anime came out?
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. Yeah.
Pretty
Well,
sure.
before that, I think there was the Ultra Despair Girls, right? And I also watched a Let's Play for that because I'm not a gamer. Despite these headphones, I'm not a gamer. So I watched a Let's Play for that as well. And the content in that game was pretty shocking, but I absolutely love what they did for Toko. I think they gave her the glow up she deserved. And I really like seeing Komaeda in that again. So
oh yeah.
I overall I think of Ultra Despair Girls pretty positively because it was so like different from the original 2 game format, but I really liked the character writing for some characters. Not all. But yeah, after Ultra Despair Girls, there was the DR3 anime, and I was super hyped for that. I'm like, wow, they're doing 2 anime at once. Oh my goodness, I can't wait. So DR3, I watched that and I come out of it feeling disappointed. I don't know what your guys' opinions on it is. Because I think I heard in one of the episodes you guys were like, we're really excited about DR3. We liked it so much. And I'm like, but I really admire what they were going for with like the 2 anime at once. That's a really interesting format. And there are things that I really admire about it, but things I really don't like about what they make canon. Anyway, DR3, whatever. Moving on. V3. So I bought a PS Vita just because I wanted to play Danganronpa. So I have the physical copy of the 3 main games now. But V3 was the first game I was able to play as my first experience of a Danganronpa game. And so that was really exciting. That came at the end of 2017. And at that point, I was in my last year of university. And I was so excited because, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to finish university and I'm going to have free time to just play V3. And then I ended up working immediately after I got out of uni, so I didn't have time. And I'm not a gamer, so it took me 2 years to complete V3, which is a ton of time, really. But it wasn't like I was playing it like consistently. And that was like really interesting for me because as my first experience firsthand playing the game, I sped through the first 3 games really because it wasn't at my own pace. So V3 was like really exciting for me to play on my own. And I was like, wow, this is great. And I really, really enjoyed V3. It was really fun. I'm really bad at the mini games, I've learned. They're really difficult for me. And so you guys know in chapter 6, the one with Kibo, and it's like the argument mini game. I had such a hard time. I had to probably play that like 20 times before I beat it. And my fingers were dying back then because obviously I'm using a PS Vita. I think it would be easier on PC, right? Because you can use a mouse and whatever. But it was so difficult. But I love Danganronpa. I really do. And I've met like so many wonderful friends through enjoying Danganronpa. It means so much to me. Like, I don't know, will I ever grow out of it? I don't think so. We'll see, but I don't think so. And I just love it. And that's my backstory of how I got into Danganronpa, kind of. Yeah.
That's amazing. And I do have to say, Makoto is sweet and he is a cinnamon roll. I'm not denying those facts, okay? Those are facts. Doesn't mean I have to like that.
Is there a but?
I was gonna say it feels like there's a but.
It just doesn't mean I just don't love it. I don't know. Anyway. And we'll probably keep our V3 thoughts like on the DL because we're kind of saving them for when we get there. I'll make little comments here and there.
Yeah. No worries.
But yeah.
I'm totally fine to just talk about Komodo for 2 hours.
Well.
So speaking of Makoto, we are all currently dressed in cosplay, and so why don't we talk a little bit about that? We can actually start with the Makoto in the room. Maddie, if you want to go.
The Makoto in the room. So mine is a very, very simple, very like low standard kind of closet cosplay because I don't have like, I was talking to Marion and Caroline like yesterday. I was like, I don't own makeup. Actually, I don't have like much work with, but I'm pretty proud of the outfit I put together, I will say. My lighting is not great, but I've got the black blazer over the sweatshirt over the shirt look going on that Makoto wears. I've also got my red shoes on that are kind of similar to his. And so sometimes I can get, if my hair's in a ponytail, I can get it to kind of do this little like almost like an ahoge thing. I tried to do it and it doesn't want to do it. It doesn't want to stick up, but I have had that happen before. Oh well, maybe another time.
Beautiful, Maddie.
Honestly.
Though it's so silly that Makoto has to wear a sweatshirt under a blazer. I'm just gonna say it. It seems a little silly to me.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just cold. He's a soft little cold boy.
He just needs a hug.
No. It's
from
not
a certain Byakuya.
Not me.
Yeah, not from you.
Not this Byakuya.
Do you want to tell us about yours?
Well, yeah, I guess I could. I am dressed as Byakuya Togami. Byakuya Togami? That's why I said it when we interviewed Jason. I remember I was like, the voice actor of Byakuya Togami.
We're just gonna have a chill conversation with Jason.
We're just gonna have a chill conversation with Jason. Best moment of the entire podcast. Anyway, yes, but we have Byakuya. This blazer is from my grandmother, and this is a button-down shirt that I just wear, and I got this ribbon at the craft store. But I do love Byakuya, and his costume is, yes, simpler, but it is full of heart. And I have my glasses I wore in 5th grade. These are mine, more mine. And then this wig. And I feel really cool right now because, like, look at my. I contoured my lips so I look sad.
Yeah, you look affluent.
Thank you. Yes. Biggest compliment. But yeah, so that's my cosplay.
Nice. I can go next and then we'll round it out with our guest. But I am Tanko from V3, Little V3 Action. I was doing a closet cosplay and I found my purple bandana and I decided to give myself bangs. Not permanent bangs, but I flipped my hair under and called it a day. So I got green bow, got the blue shirt. This is supposed to be a tie, but I don't own any white ties, so it's an infinity scarf and little like Tanko fun things here. So yeah, love that queen. Degenerate males.
Well, if we're going to talk about cosplay, obviously first I'm dressed as Kyoko Kirigiri. Actually, this cosplay I'm borrowing from a friend, but I borrowed it for years now. I should just buy it off her. But the wig is mine. So yeah, I'm cosplaying her. I buy all of my cosplay because I don't know how to make cosplay. People who do, very talented, very skilled. I don't have time to invest into sewing and things like that, but I really enjoy cosplay and I do kind of have a story to go with it. So growing up, I was not exactly a very confident person in like just personality or appearance. But I actually decided that when I started going to conventions, I really wanted to cosplay. My first cosplay is actually of Hatsune Miku, but my first Danganronpa cosplay was of Chiaki. And I've just got to say, being in cosplay as someone who didn't have a lot of confidence really boosted my confidence. And I think part of it is just like you get to be a character you love and you don't really have to think about, like, I don't know, yourself. In a way that kind of sounds bad, but I will say it really helped me like come out of my shell a bit and like be more okay with being in front of a camera. I'm still super camera shy. And I actually had to learn how to do makeup for cosplay because I had also never used makeup before. And I was like, no, I want to learn just for cosplay. And I remember now, if I want to do makeup for any other occasion, it always ends up looking like cosplay makeup, which is more dramatic, and I can't tone it down, which is not good, but it works for cosplay. Thinking about cosplay, I actually currently own 15 Danganronpa costumes. If that sounds like a lot, I want more. So
That's awesome.
I absolutely, I guess I just really adore Danganronpa cosplay in general because I feel like the character designs in Danganronpa are super strong, but also the personalities of each character are like super distinct that cosplaying them like doesn't really feel tiring to me. I don't know. I just, yeah, cosplay Danganronpa, I love it. Combine it.
It's true. Yeah. I want to have 15 cosplays one day. I will. But yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love your cosplay right now. Like I feel like I'm talking to like the real Kyoko or something. I'm like,
oh my
I'm
goodness.
So excited.
Thank
love
you.
Kyoko. Love her so much. And so we were also curious about, so you are also an artist, and yes. We were curious about that. We wanted to ask, when did you start creating art and like what kind of inspired you?
Okay, so art. I feel like all my stories so far have been super long.
That's okay.
And this is a long story as well. But I started drawing when I was a baby, pretty much. I've just never stopped drawing. So my mother was also like an artist, kind of. So I think I kind of was encouraged by my parents, or they didn't discourage me from drawing, because obviously my mom was an artist, and then it just was like, okay, well, you draw too, go ahead. But I grew up watching American cartoons on television, and I really loved that. I wanted to draw them. And so I did. And so I just drew. I didn't get my first drawing, like digital drawing tablet, until I was in high school. And I only feel like my art is somewhat good from like 2015, I'll say. But like, again, art is subjective, and I really enjoyed drawing and improving. And let me just say this, like Ratatouille, like Remy, anyone can draw. Anyone can draw. I always get people asking me like, how do you get better at drawing? And I just want to say, like, anyone can draw. Go at your own pace, and just have fun with it. Like any skill, I think, or creative thing, you just gotta do it. I don't really know what better advice there is. Like this podcast, I gotta say, that's really creative, and I was like, you guys just went for it, and now it's like so amazing. And I'm like, nobody taught you how to do a podcast, but it's great.
Thank you.
So, yeah. Back to drawing. So if you don't know, I work as a storyboard artist for children's animation, mostly for Australian cartoons. But I always knew I wanted to do something related to drawing for my career, and I just ended up being in the animation industry. So that's really fun and creative, and I love it. So shout out to Midurai from DR3. I feel your pain. I understand why you have all the dark circles under your eyes. The artist life is really hard. But yeah, being an artist, especially in the Danganronpa fandom, has opened like so many opportunities, I would say, for me. In the sense that I've been able to connect with so many people through my art. I find that being a creator gives you sort of like a platform for people to come to you to talk about the things you love. And that's something I really enjoy about also going to conventions and tabling as an artist with Danganronpa merchandise at a convention, because I've actually met a lot of my really good friends through conventions. Like I have a couple of friends I met because they were actually followers of mine, and they met me at a convention, and we started talking, and now we're like really good friends who don't have to talk about Danganronpa, but it's just like great. So as an artist, I feel like I draw because I love it, but I'm really happy if it's meaningful to other people too. And I'm really happy that it allows me to connect with other people more so than, I don't know, doing good art. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Kind of talking about, meeting people and how things have changed over time. Have you noticed anything changing within the fandom itself from like 2013 to now, or has it kind of stayed the same in terms of who you meet?
Oh my gosh. So I feel like, I started on Tumblr, Danganronpa. There's a ton of like drama, but I don't think I was ever really involved in drama or like ever sought out drama within fandom. I kind of just keep to other artists, I guess. But in terms of difference in fandom, I would say yes and no. It feels like Danganronpa, everyone's just very excited to be in the Danganronpa fandom. One thing that's different, I'm not on Tumblr anymore. I'm on Twitter and there's TikTok now. And I've never used TikTok before, but what I see from TikTok in regards to Danganronpa is like the cosplay, right? And I find that like so incredible. There are so many like interesting young people doing such like creative things online that you wouldn't have thought of back in 2013. But like that's something I do like about like the whole social media advancements and everything. Like there are so many more people able to express themselves through like such creative ways. And like maybe I'm a boomer now, but like I can't keep up, but I think it's really impressive. And yeah, fandom is great and wonderful and scary, but beautiful.
Okay, about your art, because I wanna know, do you have any like favorite pieces you've created? Like over your time of Danganronpa, like art creation?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I definitely do. There was one artwork that I did that has this was before I played V3. So it has Komaru, Naegi, Hajime, and Kaide like centering the piece, and then you have their little sidekicks as chibis. And I really like that artwork because I was like, wow, pro tags. And then I played V3 and I was like, oops.
That's so
So
funny.
I really love that artwork. I also there's this one artwork that I did of Junko and Kirigiri. Maybe I'll send it to you guys later so you can actually see what I'm talking about.
Yes,
That I
please
really
do.
like. Um, Another thing I really like in general is because I've been an artist and very fortunate enough to have like some sort of following, and my art I would say is decent. I have been a part of a couple of Danganronpa zines. So they're like fan contributed, organized art books kind of, and I've been in a couple of them. I can probably show some, but
Yeah.
Please.
okay. So this will be for the video people, not the audio people. But this was a Komaida fan book that was created probably in 2014, 2015, 2014. And I did an illustration for it. So I just want to show off like something I did early on and then something more recent. Oh my god. I look at my old art and I'm just like embarrassed because I don't think it's that good. But like it's okay. You know, it's fine to be embarrassed about your old art. But
Yes.
I think you also have to like respect yourself at that time because you put a lot of effort into what you were making. And sure, it might be embarrassing to you now, but it's kind of refreshing to be like, huh, I can look back at this and think like I put a lot of effort in it and I was really proud of it and it made me happy, and I'm really happy to see the improvement since then. So this is the Komaida artwork that I did for that fan book at the time.
Wow.
2014.
That is so good.
That is
Oh, thank
awesome.
you. Yeah, I really like collecting these fan books that I'm in and also that I'm not part of because I just like art and these books are great. So that's one of them. And then this one is more recent. So it was a Danganronpa fashion zine, and basically everyone just drew original outfits for the characters that they were assigned. And for that, I drew Sayaka in like a nice idol costume.
Oh,
I don't know if you can see.
Whoa.
That is
So
amazing.
I drew this one last year and I'm pretty proud of it.
You definitely should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Thank you. And then this one is The Decade of Despair, which was a fan book organized for the 10th anniversary. And I drew, I drew Sakura and Aoi for it. So let me see where it is. There's one thing like, I love Sakura. I'm so happy that you guys love Sakura too.
Love her.
She's great, but like she's one of those characters where I'd never really drawn like muscular figures before, and I just know that looking back at my original arts of her, I didn't do a good job. But I think I did a lot better now, wherever it is. Let me find it. Oh, right here. So here is an illustration of Sakura.
Oh, look at those cuties. I love them so much.
Ali looks so proud of Sakura, and I just want to cry. Oh, I love them.
You've captured their like personalities and like their expressions in such a perfect way. Like, that's just so good. Of course.
I feel like as a storyboard artist, that makes me really happy to hear. You know, that's my job.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you. Oh, that's so exciting. I'm glad I was able to share that. And I have like a physical copy to show.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I had to yeet for a second. I was like starting to feel kind of faint, and I was like, why do I feel like hot and like faint? And then I realized I was wearing
you've stripped.
So the sweatshirt is gone. It's like,
wait 1 second.
Makoto is more talented than we knew.
It is true.
He had incredible thermoregulation.
You know, like what you should wear this.
Oh my goodness.
That's so really cute, actually.
I love that.
Yeah, Caroline, you want it?
Khee, if you want to send it to me, I would accept it.
All right. So let's focus back towards Danganronpa itself. We have a couple questions based on like just your general favorites within the series. So do you have a favorite game from the 4?
Oh, okay. Favorite game. I think it's a hard decision between Super Danganronpa 2 and V3. Both are really strong to me. I love Trigger Happy Havoc as well, but when it comes to like overall feelings and attachment and like themes, I think I really it's hard. I really overall love Super Danganronpa 2, but I think now I'm gonna like be controversial here. V3's ending, I absolutely adore it. I for some reason, I don't know, I feel like normally a lot of people would say they hate it, but I'm on the side that I really adore V3's ending. But okay, let's make it fair, let's make it biased. I'm gonna say Super Danganronpa 2 because it has Komaeda in it.
Boom. Consistency.
There you go.
We'd love to see it.
Yeah.
In a similar vein, do you have a favorite case or like chapter from any particular game?
Okay, well, I mean, are we gonna go for the obvious route? Chapter 5 of Super Danganronpa 2 is incredible. I have no idea how they came up with that scenario, and that scenario is just like tailor-made for a character like Komaeda. Like no one else can pull it off, and it's just incredibly like amazing, really sad, and like I don't know, I was just like, wow, now you know Komaeda is crazy, but I love him.
Yes.
I guess another case that I really like would actually be and I remember listening to your episode about like ranking the cases. I actually really like in the first game, I really like chapter 2.
Yes.
In general. Because firstly, I really like Chihiro. The whole like I really like how you guys were like, you know, it's a discussion on gender and how people present themselves and stuff like that. But like, I really love the parallels between Chihiro and Mondo. I really love kind of, I enjoy Togami being an asshole. And Toko's reveal as Genocide is Show is really interesting to me. Okay, firstly, I'm gonna apologize if I keep using people's last names, because
that's fine.
Listening to your podcast, everyone has their first name, and I'm like, Oh, who's Nagito? But yeah, chapter 2 of the first game, I really love it. The chapter and the trial. And that's not something that I'll say for every chapter. In V3, my favorite, if it's not the first chapter, it's got to be chapter 4. Chapter 4 trial breaks me. But in a good way. You know what I mean? But yeah, overall, I just adore pretty much every chapter except for maybe V3 chapter 3. I wasn't into that one.
That one's a little weird, I would say.
You know who else wasn't? Tango. Am I right?
Well,
yeah. Oops. Generally, I just have a good opinion of everything, really.
Yeah, that's kind of how I would say I feel too. I even the things I don't like, I do love, except chapter 3 of game 2. Anyway, okay, so next question is, what are some of your favorite characters?
Well, obviously, Naida Komaeda is probably my favorite character out of anything, really, because maybe it was just, I don't know, I'm not that well read. But Komaeda was like the first character I'd ever experienced that was that level of insanely interesting and insane. But yeah, he's obviously my favorite character of the whole franchise. Surprisingly, now I don't know if you guys know, but on my YouTube channel, I've been making animatics for Danganronpa. I don't know if you've watched my Tsumugi Shirogane animatic. I'll link it at some point.
Yes, please do.
Yeah,
but
please.
Working on that really made me appreciate Tsumugi more, and she's actually becoming one of my highest rated characters, surprisingly enough. I also didn't expect that. From the first game, favorite character Kyoko Kirigiri. She's just amazing. I love her. And actually listening to your episodes where you guys discuss or like question her actions and like say like, is she actually a good person and things like that, I was like, wow, I never thought about her in that way. And I'm kind of like, that gives her more depth. I really like her. Actually, I don't know if you know, there are light novels. There are Kirigiri light novels, and I really want to read them. So they go into her past. I think like when she's a child and being a detective with her grandfather and stuff like that. I'm really interested to know about her past more in depth through those light novels, but I'm not sure. I think some have been translated by fans, but I don't think there'll ever be an English localization, which is a shame because I think she deserves it. So yeah, Kyoko Kirigiri from the first game. I also, it's hard for me to say, but Junko, kind of. It's a love-hate relationship with Junko, I think. Oh wait, I'm totally forgetting. Kuzuru, Fuyuhiko Kuzuru is an amazing character and he deserves more love. He's so well written in the second game. I love his character development. Oh my goodness, why don't I talk about him more? He is amazing and I love him. So yeah, those are maybe my top favorites that I would think of right now.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. In a like kind of similar vein to that also, what Danganronpa character do you feel that you're most similar to?
Okay, so I feel like I've thought about this, but maybe I have multiple answers. So first, I would maybe say somewhat Makoto. I actually did a quiz, a personality quiz, and I got Makoto. And I was like, you know what? That's fine. Maybe I'm just not that interesting, but I think it's more that
I'm so sorry.
No.
I did not mean to roast you.
I think it's more that his optimism and his personality to want to like, I don't know, be involved with other people and stuff like that, really care for other people. And I don't know, I feel like that's very me. But if we're talking about like fandom, my geeky side, I have to say Tsumugi Shirogane, because firstly, I love cosplay. As soon as I knew there was a cosplay in the game, I was like, I'm gonna hang out with her. And so like I just had a bias towards her, and her thoughts on Danganronpa, I was like, you know what, Queen, I appreciate you because I understand. I relate to this level. Um, for the second game though, I don't know if I feel like any of the characters. But if we're gonna go with like personality, maybe Hajime, just because I grew up kind of feeling the same way, like not really knowing my strengths, or like feeling that I had to be some sort of way in order to be acceptable. I'm gonna talk about like private life, but as a child, I did experience bullying and things like that. So that really tanked my self confidence. And I feel like actually drawing was a way for me to spend my time peacefully, I guess, where I didn't have to like talk to anybody, but I just drew and I really enjoyed it. So maybe it came from a place of like not wanting to feel lonely, but again, like maybe that's just the miracle of art. I love that drawing has now led me to meeting people like you guys. So hey, what a turnover. I don't need to be a Kamakura Izuru. I'll just be a Tsumugi. Which in itself is weird because she can be everyone. So I don't know.
I will also say, like, the three of us in our podcast episodes, I'm sure you've heard, but we roast some characters and we're like, we don't like them and stuff. But for our listeners out there, like, we never dislike a character. If you identify that with a character, that doesn't mean we dislike you. Like, every character has great strengths, and I would love to meet anyone from the Danganronpa games. So we love you and we see you, and you're all wonderful in your hearts. Yeah, little hearts.
What are some of your favorite ships?
Okay, so Naigiri, that's Makoto and Kirigiri. That is my fave. No, actually, maybe that's my second fave. But I really adore that ship. And I think part of it comes from the fact that you get to see progression through the series. I love that in Trigger Happy Havoc, they really have to learn to trust each other, and like they build like a really strong teamwork in that game. And then when you see them in the second game, it's like, oh my God, they're together, working together, saving everyone. Wow. And then when you see them in DR3, the anime, I was like, oh, she's his boss. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, of course. I don't think Makoto would have been her boss in any scenario, but that was great to see. DR3, I have opinions, but the way they portray Makoto and Kyoko in that series, I really love it. I think their relationship is so strong. That scene where she takes off her glove and like holds his hand, I'm just like, yes. But then she dies, but like whatever. But like, yes, Naigiri is a really good ship. Maybe my tastes in ships are really basic, but they're one of the strongest ships that you see progression through the series, and they're lovely, adorable. I think they suit each other. What more do you want? Okay, another ship I really like, I really like, obviously, would be Nagito Komaeda and Hajime Hinata. So Komihina for everyone in the know. I adore the ship. And I think it started because I really liked Komaeda, and I told you I didn't enjoy Hinata because I thought he was not like Nagi in my first experience. But then I was like, but I really like Nagito. I need someone with him. Oh, I guess Hajime will do. But but now I really adore them. I guess like what I like about that ship though is once again the parallels between the two characters. Both of them are so similar, but I feel like the way they handle their problems or like their lifestyle is like the total opposite. But when you get back to the core, like they're so similar in a way where they have a lot of trauma, you know, they struggle. But I feel like especially in DR3 and the free time events and everything, I think both of those characters really want to understand each other in a way. Like Hajime in his free events, all he like every time I read that like he wants to understand what Nagito is thinking and things like that, I'm like, me too. What is going on in his brain? But also like I feel like Hinata challenges Kamaida's worldview. And like that kind of they're both interesting to each other, if that makes sense. And I just really like the dynamic.
Khee, you did say that you are similar to Hajime, so I'm just wondering if a little part of that was shipping yourself with Komaeda.
Oh my
god! Wait, can I say I saw this TikTok that was like, think of your OTP, then think one of those characters you identify most with, and one of those characters you simp for the most.
Like, wow, that's so interesting.
How interesting for you to say that.
Bring that up.
Wait a second, let me get something. So let me just show off. I don't have just one. I have two body pillows of so actually on the back side of that one is Hinata. So I've got mine on this side, and on the back side is also Hinata. So I don't know. I always hug this side, so maybe there is some truth to that. That I just want to see myself with him. Maybe.
Maybe. Oh my gosh, I'm so impressed with all your merch. I gotta get on it.
Oh my goodness. I have a funny story about collecting merch. So as an artist and as a teenager with no job, I was like, I really want to order this figure. So let me grab it first. Actually, Nagito Komaeda figures was the original reason I started commissions online, because I wanted funds to be able to purchase this guy. So he started it all.
Oh my god.
Oh wow.
And I have everything to blame on him. Everything you see behind me, it's all thanks to this guy starting it.
That's
so awesome. Yeah, I've been collecting merch for a couple of years now. I don't want to think about how much money I've spent. But one thing I will say, I am proud that everything that I have bought does come from my own money. I don't really like to ask my parents for funding all of this stuff. But yeah, if you, like me, really like Danganronpa merchandise, but you don't think you can afford it, of course, like everyone has their own circumstances, and if you're not able to ask your parents or anything to pay for it, I think you can find creative ways to, I don't know, get donations or like build funds for this thing, or maybe get a job. I don't know. But one perk about being an adult with a full-time job means that you have some income, and that means you can purchase things.
True.
So I like purchasing official and fan-made goods because as an artist myself, I feel like it's only natural that I want to support other artists. So yeah, I have a ton of stuff that is not official merch, which I think is also great if you want to buy Danganronpa merch but can't afford official figure prices, fan merch does the same thing, you know, and you're supporting an artist and you're both loving Danganronpa together. It's a win-win.
Yeah. So you mentioned commissions. With commissions and just your own work, how many pieces do you normally work on at one time?
Okay, so because I do work full time, I'm only able to open commissions when I have a bit of a break. So I try to keep them at maybe like 5 slots at a time. So what I do is I just put on Twitter, I'm like, hey guys, I'm opening commissions. And normally it's not always first come, first served. That's how like a lot of artists want to do it. But actually lately I have just been doing first come, first serve because I'm the type of person that feels really bad rejecting people, being like, no, I don't want to draw your thing. So I'm more like, yes, I will definitely draw your thing. Thank you for your email. I will put you on the waiting list. And I end up accepting more than I can handle, but I eventually get to it. But I would suggest that if you're someone looking to open commissions, this is something that I've also experienced, but a lot of artists will undercharge themselves for the amount of time or the skill level that they should be worth. Art is a luxury and it should sort of be respected as such. I think with like just the internet in general, and you get to see like art on your Twitter timeline or anything like for free, I feel like a lot of people take art for granted. And while I want to keep my commissions as affordable as possible, I also now am in a position where I cannot take commissions at a price that is unsustainable for myself, because I used to, when I originally started commissions, I did really undercharge myself. I only feel like in the last couple of years did I start increasing my prices, and that's something I feel like artists in general, especially younger artists, struggle with, like knowing the value of your work. So I just want to tell your listeners out there, hey, I believe in you. You do amazing things, and you should pay or be paid for what you provide. So yeah, commissions. That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely. And like, I'm not an artist, but I couldn't agree more. I think that there is an element of like people taking that for granted when they're able to just see like a lot of things. I've seen like a couple situations where some artists have like a Patreon maybe, and like they tease at some of their art, but they don't show all of it. Like you have to, you know, subscribe to the Patreon to be able to see it. And some people get like angry about it. They're like, oh, why can't we just see your art? It's like, it's not like you, it's not like you have, you know, the right to just see anyone else's art, like you to be able to access that. Like you said, it is a privilege. And so I definitely agree with that. Our next question for you is, do you have any other anime or games that you would recommend?
I feel like maybe I'm the type that's like obsessed with one thing for ages, or
I feel that.
I don't get interested in it at all. Like for example, recently I watched Demon Slayer because I wanted to watch a movie. I didn't really enjoy Demon Slayer. I thought it was kind of boring. Sorry. But like anime or games or things in general. Rather than an anime or a game, I want to just shout out Vocaloid. I don't know if any of you have any like interest in Vocaloid, but Vocaloid, Danganronpa, and Love Live are the 3 things I would say have stuck around in my life the longest. So Vocaloid, if you don't know, I'm gonna go on a tangent. Vocaloid is a vocal synthesizer software with like mascot characters, and basically they are an instrument. But But what I really like about Vocaloid is that it's all fan content. Everything is created by a fan, basically, because Vocaloid's company, Krypton, just provides software and like the characters, right? But everything that you see of Vocaloid was created by someone who likes Vocaloid. And I feel like that sense of community being the whole like canon, I suppose, is so interesting to me. Maybe canon's not the right word, but Vocaloid is great. I love it. Go listen to it. Support all the producers who make music. And that's another thing, like, sorry to go back, but commissioning, right? Art, I don't just mean drawing, like fan fiction, music, any creative thing. I feel like people need to have a bit more respect for, because making things is not easy, I will say, and people take it for granted. I don't know, this is off tangent, but there is a person on YouTube who has made Danganronpa fan songs. If you've seen that before, they use Vocaloid. Let me look it up. Have you heard of like the Kokichi I'm a Liar song or something?
No.
Because I'm a liar.
I don't.
I don't know. If you wanna Google that, it's by a person called Mickey Robbins. And basically they've made a bunch of original Vocaloid songs based on Danganronpa characters, and like that's another thing I'm like, wow, amazing, combining things I love together. So shout out to them. On the topic of like being attached to something, I think part of it is also personally the point of my life where I got into Danganronpa. So I was coming out of high school, and Danganronpa, the first game, is kind of like, when you think about the ending, it's kind of about like leaving school and facing the outside world and all of that kind of theming. So maybe that hit with me, but also going through university, that was the time in my life where I started becoming more confident in myself, because I was surrounding myself with like-minded people, because I was in an animation course. And I feel like maybe just my personal growth in my life and being attached to Danganronpa at the same time, like that's like merged in my personality now, and I cannot escape it anymore. They just mean so much to me.
Our last question for you before we move into Bedwed Behead is, how can our listeners support your work?
Okay, so I am on Twitter, I am on Instagram, I was on Tumblr, I kind of am. I am also on YouTube. I also do Twitch streaming. So all of that, you can find me at Cactus Khee, except for YouTube, which is just Khee. And yeah, I hope to see you there. I make interesting content, I think. And I draw, so if you want fan art, just come and look at it.
All right, folks, we are heading into Wed, Bed, and Behead, and we are going to be going through the characters that we are dressed as, specifically the Ultra Hope girls here. So we are deciding between Byakuya, Tenko, and our lovely, lovely Makoto.
Lovely.
Mm-hmm.
I could go first if you want me to, because I feel like I already have my answer. Like I feel like just in my soul it came to me and I was like, yes, this is right.
Go ahead.
So if that's all right with you, I would bed Byakuya. As we all know, I think all three of us here at the Ultra Hope Girls have made it very clear that we all have crushes on Byakuya.
We do?
Since when?
Do we?
So that I feel like is no surprise. But I would probably wed Tenko and behead Makoto. Tenko I feel like would just endlessly support me, and she would teach me martial arts, which I want to know how to do if I had time to learn it. And that would be cool. And then Makoto, sorry, don't want to do this to you, buddy, but out of those three, I'd probably behead him.
I would wed Byakuya. What a king. Yeah, I know it's a surprise, but I do love him. So yep, that would be a grand old time. I would bed Tenko. I think, she's proven time and time again that she loves women, she respects women, so I'll leave it at that. And yeah, I would I would behead Makoto. I can't make it through that with a straight face. um,
Neither can Tenko.
Oh! Yay!
Happy Pride Month.
Woo! And I would behead Makoto. I love him. Yep, that's it. Had to do it to him again.
Again, we've probably many times. Khee, we'll save our guest for last, but
yeah, sure.
I would, well, surprise, I'd behead Makoto.
What?
Yeah, I was thinking like maybe for Khee, like maybe for this episode, like I might change my answer, but like I just don't know if I could be in that scenario with him.
Never mind.
You know what I mean?
Like, you had me hoping for a second there.
I would bed Tenko. I think she would be a very great and supportive partner, and she is a legend. Love that queen. But what is wedding but getting to bed for a lifetime? So I would wed Byakuya Takami.
Yeah.
So there you go. Surprise, surprise. We all knew, but it's okay.
Congratulations on your marriage.
Thank you. Oh, the dream.
We lost a long time. So bed, wed, behead. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this. I wanted to do this, but I'm very disappointed that we're not putting Komaeda in this because.
Oh wait! Oh no!
It would have been too easy.
It would have been. You're right.
You're right. You've got characters that I care about and I don't care about as much. Haha. So let's go with who I would bed first. I think. Oh my goodness. I think I would bed Tenko. Again, respecting women. Yeah, Tenko's just fun. I like her a lot. And that might be very interesting in a bed situation.
I like how I'm counting these as wins. Like when people are picking Tenko, I'm like, wow.
She's great.
Yeah. Okay, and now let's move on to who I would wed. And let's everyone's gonna like be disappointed in me.
It's okay.
I will wed Makoto.
He gets a win. He gets a win.
He gets a win.
I will wed Makoto because I love his optimistic, positive, supportive personality, and maybe I just like soft boys. And that means I would unfortunately behead Byakuya Togami.
Wow.
And actually, it would be really funny if you put his jingle right after I said that.
Yes.
It's going in.
Consider it done.
That's the first time Byakuya's been beheaded on our podcast. Right?
Oh my god, controversial opinion.
You're good. It's okay.
No, that's
so
totally fine.
Byakuya, I always had the impression of him in Trigger Happy Havoc as an asshole. But one thing, I mean, he does develop. That's one thing I remember enjoying about your episodes is that you guys discussed him so much that I was like, actually, you're right. He is interesting. So hey, you upped my opinion, but he's still being beheaded right now. Because I don't think I want him as my partner for life. I don't think he wants me as a partner for life. That's the real thing. And if you had included Nagito, I think he would be my wed and my bed. And my forever.
I thought you were gonna say and my behead, and I was like,
interesting.
Well, I don't know about that.
Thank you everyone for tuning into this episode. It is one of our first episodes to have a full visual aspect to it. So if you are currently listening on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, make sure you go over to our YouTube and check out the video version where you can watch us all in cosplay for the entire interview. It's a good time. We all look pretty good, I think we would say. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We are everywhere. We are Ultra Hope Girls Podcast. We would love to see you there. We would love to talk to you there. And if you have any questions for us from this season or any of the previous seasons, make sure you leave us a voice message on anchor.fm for the chance for your voice to be featured in a future episode. And I think that's it. We'll see you next time.